Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Pulsechain and particularly strategies how to buy Pulsechain and PulseX. Let's get started. So you're most definitely going to be in one of these categories here. It's either pre-launch, that's basically now the time of the recording, and then you have the launch state, that's within the 48 hours after the launch. Oh, and launch, and that's after 40 hours, which after it has been launched. Let's start with the pre-launch. So the first state is going to be like, yeah, you sacrificed. Well, at that point you're lucky, just wait for the launch. Nothing much you can do really there about just wait for the launch, and then wish you 1,000 x's, 10,000 x's. Anyway, the next one is going to be before the snapshot. This may have happened already. We're just not so sure yet. So the snapshot is basically when the state of the blockchain at a specific moment, at a specific block height, when the state gets copied. Is essentially, imagine I send you like an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, and then you make a copy of it. So at the time of the copy, you have all the we have the same data basically. But then when you start writing new data to that Excel sheet, let's say, now we're not more anymore in sync anymore. So basically that's now a new file, let's say. So essentially you can look at this snapshot or fork, because Pulsechain is a fork of Ethereum, hard fork of Ethereum. So that's what happens. And if this hasn't happened already, well, then you could still basically buy some ERC20s and you're going to get copy of them. Or much better is to just buy hacks, and then you're going to have basically a copy of them. And within the 48 hours, you're going to have a chance to exchange them. Your hacks, your copied hacks, you can exchange them for Pulse Chain or PulseX. The reason why the snapshot might have happened already is because yesterday Richard Hart wrote, "I'm going to have 8 hours of sleep. I think. Good night." So that's like a hint of why the snapshot has happened already. So probably to just give you a bit of more information regarding the copy you're gonna get. So one thing for sure is, like, most likely all your stable coins are not gonna have any value at all. Your USDT, USDC, and so on, they might not have any values whatsoever. And if they have value, they will drastically go down. This is my prediction. And yeah, we can. This has happened before already. And you can check on the Ethereum proof of work. It was also a hard fork of Ethereum, and yeah, the stable coins. I think in the very short time they had no value whatsoever. So with this one here, you have to be quick to copy them or to exchange them from something valuable. Something valuable will be, well, Hex, Ethereum, sorry, Pulse Chain and PulseX, and yeah, that's more or less the things which gonna have value. So I've seen some few questions of people like, oh, what if I'm holding 100 sheep? Will I have 100 sheep as well on the pull chain? Yeah, you're gonna have that, but it's gonna be a copied version of it. So most likely they're gonna call it P sheep or something like that. Well, the biggest thing would be, will it have any value? So will it be zero? Well, most likely not. Is it gonna be one to one? That's probably also a bit too much. So my prediction would be it will have some value, but it won't have any one-to-one value, but we're going to find out. So if you're holding any of ERC20 coins on Ethereum, you're going to get a copy of them, and if you don't want them, you can basically dump them, um, and then you might get some value out of it. So next one, yeah, I think I mentioned this one before. You can just buy Hex and you get a copy on the Pulse chain. This is now if the snapshot hasn't happened yet. So we're not so sure if it has happened or not. But since we have this tweet here, it might have happened, but we cannot be 100% sure. So the next point will be it has launched. Now, one thing you have to know is that the bridge will only be open after 48 hours after the launch, 48 hours after the launch. So the only thing you can do within the 48 hours after launch is, yeah, you can exchange your polls when you sacrificed to Pulsex, or vice versa, basically. So you either you have sacrificed for polls, or you have sacrificed for Pulsex, or you have sacrificed for both of them. And yeah, you can do some ratio trading now, basically, with these two. And obviously, also you can also do ratio trading with your EHAX, sheep, and whatsoever, whatever you've got copied over. The ratio trading here is especially for beginners, I would say, not recommended, because you don't see the dollar value yet, and you only see the ratios. So what most likely will happen is, like, most people have sacrificed for Pulse X, and they will need to go to Pulse. So this is probably going to dump quite a bit. Potentially after the launch, a good play would be to just get some Pulse X, and then when Pulse start dumping, hopefully in the 3 to 4 month, you can start bridging over. So you can start exchanging for some Pulse. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. And then what do you do after the launch, basically? So this is 48 hours. You've launched already, and most likely most people are going to be in this category. They'll find out they found out that it has launched already and 48 hours has passed. Now how you going to do it? The first thing, the most easiest one, is going to be using the pulse ramp, the bridge, and that's going to be open after 48 hours after the launch. And yeah, just a quick recap here. A bridge is basically, it's a platform which enables you to transfer digital assets between different blockchain networks. And I did a video already. I can link it to here. And the bridge which going to be used is going to be here, Pulse chain, Pulse ramp. Sorry. Right now, as you can see here, there's a message here which says that yeah, the message will disappear when this goes live. Most likely it's going to disappear after the 48 hours here. And using the bridge, well, essentially is you just buy some DAI, USDC, USDT, any stable coin, more or less. I mean, I would just stick to the main known ones: USDC, USDT, and DAI. Potentially you can use other ones, but I would just stick to those ones because they are most likely ones which gonna work easier than anything else. You're not gonna have any issues exchanging them on the PulseX side. Yeah, and yeah, afterwards, after you've bridged them in, you just use the DEX to exchange your bridge assets to Pulse Chain or PulseX. That's fairly straightforward. I can do a video how to do this. And yep, we'll go to the next one. So far, there's no exchange which has announced that's going to list Pulse Chain. So we're not really 100% sure how long this is going to take. And there's some other ones, I might look into them. There is some on ramp, people working on ramp solutions which is going to be like a centralized exchange. I'm going to update this list as we go. This another ones. The category is called no sign up exchange or accountless exchanges, more or less. So just a little recap. Well, no sign up exchange are basically platforms where you can trade without creating any account. It's pretty great actually, and I've used some of them already, and they work pretty well. And they allow you to trade pretty much without any sign up, and the fees ranges between 0.5% to 1%. So definitely higher than the bridge. The bridge takes 1.1%, and definitely higher than centralized exchanges. Most centralized exchanges, they have 0.1% of fees. So yeah, we hope we can also get some centralized exchanges for off ramping and on ramping, which is great. One example here, which is Pulse it's Pulse chain fastest and simplest fiat on ramp solution. They had a sacrifice phase. The coin is called PLN, and you save fees when you hold it. And yeah, pretty much they use Bitcoin Lightning, and you can use Cash App, Kraken to do very quick exchanges. So this is pretty great. I think I can do a video to go more deeper into this, but this is their website. They also actually have a test net. If we go to testnet, yeah, you can see here. So you can exchange Bitcoin to Pulse, or BNB to Pulse, or Hex to Pulse. So this is pretty great, I think, and we shall see how this works. I can do a video about this as well. The next one, there is obviously some other no sign up exchanges out there. Fixed float, Sideshift, Change Now. I have tried Fixed Float and Sideshift. They all work pretty well. Can't complain whatsoever. One of the risks, obviously, these are central. They are centralized, right? I mean, if you send a coin somewhere and you get some other coin back, the question is like, who is that person who sent those coins for you? Well, in a DEX, obviously, it's a liquidity pool, so it's basically there's no human interaction. So, but obviously, in a centralized exchange or no sign up exchange is the same. There's either people or machines, like software working behind to send you those coins. But whoever control that software basically is an entity, and so you have to know the risks here, basically. Yeah. So the best way is obviously to use like a DEX, but obviously after the launch, the DEX is Pulse X, but you need to bridge in some of those assets. So I'm gonna go back here. And then the other one, which I found out, is portalx.io. So these are basically DEX aggregators. So they aggregate different DEXs out there, and yeah, you can try them out. I saw on Twitter that they are actually going to have pull chain here as well. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them here. I mean, some of these I've never heard them. Boba, Clatin, I don't know. I have no clue if, yeah, well, I guess they exist, but I just have no clue. Never heard them before. So that's pretty much it, guys. And let's hope this is all going to work well. And see you next time. Have a good one.